All of the algorithms that we've looked at so far are fairly straightforward, and they only output information. They only display things to the user. So to allow our algorithms to become more useful, we're going to let them make decisions. This means that different actions can take place in our algorithm depending on the decision that the algorithm makes. It's really important to understand at this stage that the only types of decisions that algorithms can make are simple yes or no decisions, or in other words, true or false decisions. So in order to make a decision inside our algorithm, it needs to be able to ask true or false questions. So the way we represent that in our flowchart diagram is that we're going to put the question inside this diamond shape. Some terminology here: a true or false question is known as a Boolean condition. Boolean means true or false, and the question is a condition. So if we go back to our example of being able to tell a square from a rectangle, let's think about what is a true or false question, or a Boolean condition, that we can ask based on the shape's attributes to determine whether that shape is a square or a rectangle. Well, maybe one question we can ask is, does the shape have 4 equal sides? So notice that question is a true or false question. The only answers it can have is true or false. So that's a Boolean condition. So after we've popped the question inside the diamond shape, we can then extend arrows out from the corners of the diamond to represent different paths that our algorithm can follow depending on the true or false answer to that question. So another terminology here is, instead of saying answer to the question, we're going to use the words result of the Boolean condition. Remember, Boolean condition was the true or false question, so the answer is the result. Let's build up this algorithm that can tell a square from a rectangle step by step using our flowchart diagram shapes. So we're going to start with our start capsule as usual. We're going to then draw an arrow and lead to an output shape, which is going to display, think of, a square or a rectangle. So it's an output because we're going to display that statement on the screen, and it's going to get us to think about a square or rectangle in our heads. The next step is going to be a diamond. So here we're going to make a decision. We're going to check this Boolean condition. Does the shape have 4 equal sides? So this shape that we're thinking of, that's either a square or rectangle, does it have 4 equal sides? So we're going to draw 2 arrows out now, true or false, and we're going to go through each of those possible answers one at a time and see where the algorithm leads us. So we're going to follow the true path first. So if the shape does have 4 equal sides, that is, the result of the Boolean condition is true, we're going to follow that sideways arrow. We're going to have another output step, which is going to display it is a square. So after this step, our algorithm ends. So that completes that path of the decision shape. Let's go and follow the false path now. So if the result of the Boolean condition, does the shape have 4 equal sides, is false, we're going to follow that downwards arrow, and we're going to go to another output step that's going to say it is a rectangle. And then we are going to end. So notice there are 2 paths that the algorithm can take. Now the algorithm will only take one of those 2 paths. So even though we see 2 different outputs there, it is a square and it is a rectangle, only one of those will be displayed because only one of those paths will be taken. And in both cases, after it displays the answer, the algorithm will end. So what we're going to do here is join those 2 ends together. So our flowchart is a little neater. And if we go very quickly back to that sample flowchart that we talked about in the previous lesson, you can see that the diamond shape is used once again here to determine whether the self-driving car should slow down when it sees a pedestrian or should it continue at the speed limit. You can see the Boolean condition there is there a pedestrian ahead? And there are 2 different paths being taken depending on the result of that Boolean condition. That's how, by introducing the decision shape into our flowchart diagrams, we can use the result of Boolean conditions, or the answer to true or false questions, to do different things in our algorithm.